All right. I'm Alanis, and I'm here in Milwaukee with talking to Verself, and I'm here with
Dante.
Kyle.
Frankie.
yeah. So you guys are kind of right in the middle of this big tour you guys are on. You guys just played Coachella. You're playing ZBR Fest coming up. Yeah, your Renaissance at the end of the month. Got a lot of shows planned. How has everything been going?
Great.
Smooth. Good, actually.
Yeah, this tour's been a lot of fun. We're hitting a lot of cities that we never been before and didn't really know what to expect with like turnout or anything like that. And every show has been really fun. Everyone, yeah, I don't know. Every city has been like a pleasant surprise so far. So it's been great.
Nice. I mean, I've seen you guys once before on this tour. I caught you guys in Phoenix, and the reaction was just absolutely insane. You guys have such a great like the crowd reactions are always incredible, and you this on stage you mentioned this is the 50th anniversary of your first record. How has that album evolved and those songs evolved with you over these past 5 years?
Um, yeah, I think the biggest thing is when I wrote that album, I was still drinking, so there's still there are songs about that on there. Um, so yeah, I guess it just went from being a lot of songs kind of about how I don't know how fucked up I was in like mentally because of all that. To now I'm kind of on the other side of everything that I was singing about and able to look back and be like, I don't know, just grateful for how much better my life has been. Um, so yeah, I don't know,
Okay.
it's weird.
Yeah, I also went sober 4 years ago, so like I definitely relate to a lot of that, like
Mhm.
those processes and everything. Um, and what I gotta say is, in terms of like where emo's at right now, I think you guys are probably the biggest band in the genre right now in terms of like newer bands. What do you think has helped attribute to some of your like relatability and help with help casting like this broad net,
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't think I'm a great lyricist in the sense of like I feel like I don't really use a lot of like flowery words or like even like very many metaphors or anything like that. It's kind of very straightforward what I'm saying, and people still find their own meaning in it, but it's like I feel like, yeah, it's just kind of right there on the surface. And that's just, I don't know, maybe more relatable than someone who's trying to find the most clever way to say the thing that they
Yeah.
want to say. So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, other than that, I could only really speculate, but that's my best guess, I guess.
Yeah. So, what was it like playing Coachella? Because when people saw you on that lineup, did you think you'd be saying, "Well, did they slot us for the same day as Lady Gaga? Because I don't want her styles to clash. I wanted to kind of, what was that like?"
It was really funny. I like my buddies. We were talking about it just like before we played our set, and it was like telling them like it was a very much a joke to us when like we would talk about it like as a band. We're like, oh, imagine we played Coachella, and then Kyle was like, yo, guess what? We're like playing Coachella, and I remember like being at work and being like, dude, there's no way. Like that's really crazy.
Yeah.
And then my buddies were like, what was it like? And like genuinely, like not in a diss of us being a band, but it was kind of like when you first go to the skate park with your mom
Mhm.
and like everyone else is like really good at skating and like has their own steez and like you're wearing elbow pads. Like that's like what it was. Like we were like you could just tell like everyone had their own little crew and you could tell like they had like their own like everyone knew what they were gonna wear and we were just pulled up and like we just had our breakables and was like let's do it, and we played our authentic set of when we mess up, we laugh, and we just like just had a good time. Weekend 2 was a lot more smooth than weekend
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Weekend 1, like
Yeah.
we were so fucking nervous.
Trial and
Yeah.
error
I
weekend
was shaking so much that I couldn't put the capo on my guitar because I was like shaking so much that I couldn't aim at the right fret.
Yeah.
Yeah, and weekend 1 was pretty rough.
Yeah.
We fucked up a lot. But I don't know. I'm telling myself that it probably sounded better than I think it did.
It sounded
Yeah. Everyone seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah,
So
whoever watched the live stream, like, had family watching back home. Like, they're all sending me videos, like my cousins, like my grandma and grandpa were watching it too, like,
Yeah.
in the living room, and like they're like, it sounded good. And my grandma's like, I don't know what you're saying, but like, you look like you're having fun. And I was like, thanks.
I just think it was cool. Like we were able to show, like, I think even when Coachella has punk bands on the bill, it's punk bands that are kind of like, not to talk shit on anyone, but like a little bit strayed from like the genuine DIY punk scene.
Yeah.
And I still feel like we are very much like still there. Like literally, what, 3 weeks before we played Coachella, we played in a living room.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we're very much still doing that stuff, and we like probably always will. I mean, I don't ever see us. It's not that we don't want to do those things. We would play every show in a living room. We just literally can't.
Yeah.
You just without wasting people's time and like shit just not going well, people's safety and whatnot.
Mhm.
And even outside of Versus Self, like we're all in other bands where we can still play house shows and smaller shows.
Yeah.
Still be like
Yeah.
head level with the audience, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like on the floor, or like the intimacy's at.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, tonight you had people crowd surfing, stage diving, like, and you're part of that, and that draws you in on a whole different level.
Yeah.
Instead of saying we're gonna put a barricade up, we're gonna have security,
Mhm.
and you guys are even doing your own merch. It's like there's a relatability and a personability to it, to where I think that helps, like make the scene more connected, makes people care about not just the music, but the experience, and care about each other more.
Mhm.
On this tour, you have a lot of like local headliners, like local openers.
Mhm.
How have you been selecting those? Like, because some of these are really great, more not like obscure bands, but
Yeah.
like bands that might not have gotten national attention if they weren't on a bill with you. So,
Yeah.
what was that process like?
Some of the bands we already knew about. A lot of the bands, I hit up my friend Elias, who writes and does interviews and stuff for Not Just a Phase, because he like knows the most about music out of anyone I know, I think. And yeah, I just asked. I was like, these cities, I don't know any bands. Like, tell me what's cool. And he gave me like a big list, and I kind of like sat down and looked through them and picked out which ones I thought fit the most and were cool. And yeah, that's kind of how we went about that.
Mhm.
So, right now, emo seems to be in a very interesting spot, right? The screen, like so many like scrams and screamo bands are having like really big moments. A lot of like reunions and things like that. Where do you see the genre heading from here?
Yeah,
It peaked when we released our album in Downhill.
yeah, pretty no. I've been saying for the longest time that basically I'm just waiting for it to not be a trend anymore, but I feel like it's kind of gotten past that point at this point.
Mhm.
Like it seems like it's stuck around a lot longer than I thought, for sure. I thought for sure it was just gonna be like, a few months or a year or whatever, that this is what everyone's into, and then after that everyone kind of just moves on to the next thing. And I always, even then, kind of knew like there are going to be the kids who like really fuck with it and found it because it was popular or whatever, but then like they like found it and they're like, yeah, this is my thing, so they would stick around, but most everyone else would leave. But I thought that would have happened a while ago. So yeah, I don't
So
know.
something I think about that is I can tell that like the trendier people are leaving,
Mhm.
and my bellwether for that is I'm seeing less title fight and modern baseball shirts at screamo shows, like where they just like, it's like, oh cool, you know, Head and Ceiling Fan and Tears Over Beers, but like, what else? What's your opinion on Sunny Day Real Estate? Not to like gatekeep, but it's like, it's like if you were to select like you know, your favorite TikTok, you know, inspired like emo starter pack bands, Title Fight and Mobo are it. And I'm seeing less of those. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I think the people who really stick with it because it is a genre that really does speak to people.
Yeah.
And like, I'm very optimistic about the future of the genre.
Yeah.
And like oh, even like tonight, I mean, like I saw some people like during like one person during Punxsutawney set said, I heard someone go, I didn't know you didn't have to sing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Sick.
and they're like, what if we did that? And they go, maybe. And I'm like, what if they just, what if that's all, what if right then and there they just like got that inspiration to start a post-rock band?
Yeah.
So, and like the way I actually like got into you guys was I saw your song Mourn attached to a Call of Duty compilation. And that, dude, I swear to God, it took me back to like 2009. I was like, all right, I gotta listen to this band because this reminds me of like a COD. It was like it was like I haven't played COD in years, but it took me back to being like in middle school, and I'm like, oh, this is sick.
Thank you.
So to kind of cap things off, where do you like right now? What is the first self song that you're the most proud of?
Oh man, that one's hard. There's different ones for different reasons, I think. Like it's always gonna be the newest one for sure. So we have one that's like mostly recorded that's gonna be on a split. That one I'm really proud of. I don't know. I would say probably I'll go with like I don't know. Maybe I think the ones off the Numb Ears split are the ones that I'm most proud of, and I would say probably specifically Maudlin and Departures. Yeah, yeah, because those two have parts lyrically, especially Maudlin. I think that just hit hard. Like Maudlin, not so much anymore because it's about like a fear of relapsing, and I don't really have that anymore because of how much better my life has been, and I just can't even imagine drinking again. But yeah, that song fucked me up for the longest time anytime we would play it. So yeah, I mean, but in a way too, it's like I kind of am most proud of like the most popular ones because it's like those have spoke to the most people, I guess, you know, and it's always means a lot to me whenever someone comes up to me at a show or DMs us or whatever, and tells us how much our music means to them and that it got them through something or something like that, you know, because I think we've all had bands like that have got us through something, so we know like when people say that to us, we like know what that means,
right?
And so it means a lot. So sorry, I have ADHD, so I tend
No,
to
it's all
ramble
good.
and go all over the place. But
and
what about you guys?
I really like. I think all the new stuff too. Like Tight and Swell, I think has a cool like kind of message out there for all the queer people, which is cool. They need more inclusivity, you know. I think in terms of like song to like play or like let me perform, it's like I do like Homesick a lot.
Okay.
I like did squeak that song tonight. It was so crazy, but like
everyone heard that shit.
I don't
too.
know. I think
I don't even know.
I heard that shit, bro. And I even had your vocals on my monitor. And I was like, no. That was so funny.
But I'm really proud of everything I think we do as a band collectively. I'm really proud of Kyle and their sobriety, and I'm really proud of being around people who have that mentality to just you know, kind of cut those vices out and keep moving forward, and just like you kind of don't need them, you know, at the end of the day. So I think I found a lot of like comfort in that too. You know, I'm not I wasn't like an alcoholic, you know, or like had problems with it, but I think my drinking has cut down significantly. And I think I've tuned into more of just like being myself and just like being here for the music, you know.
Okay.
So like every time I'm with like these people, like it always is like the best time.
Nice. And then
I like playing the new stuff, like the new song me and Kyle wrote that's not out yet. It's a lot of fun. I kind of forgot how it went, but I remember writing it. It was fun. Titan Swell is a really fun song, and then I mean, most people probably know I'm not the original drummer, so I didn't write anything off the split before. But I love all like the demo and then the actual record. I'd say I think the song I always related to the most was Worthless, so I really like.
okay.
I just it's so weird. It's the
Yeah.
full circle of just this friendship in this band is so weird. Like we could talk about it forever, but it's literally just so crazy. Like, we basically like meeting Kyle and Greg with like, I mean, no one gave a fuck about either band we were in, and then we played at a skate shop. Great time. We kept being friends, and then like I remember like just I don't know. I just remember being like, oh, those drum parts are so sick, and like hanging out with these guys is so much fun. We went on our first tour with them, and just it's just weird. Like it's just really weird to be in this spot. It's really strange. I think like I don't know. I sometimes take it for granted, but it's really really cool, and I appreciate being able to do it. It's
Yeah.
made me a better drummer in a way. I feel like learning all those songs and just every single one we play it's just we or I myself I just kind of connected to it like more. It's a very close song to Kyle, and I've also lost my father growing up, so it's like a song that I can relate to as well. And yeah, I like them all. Seriously, I really love playing all the songs. They're fun as shit. Like Homesick is such a fun song. Like when you're like doing the like rim shots in the beginning and everyone like getting stoked, like you'll see me smile because it's like that energy is so fucking
That crowd
rad.
reaction is
I remember like I was always like, oh dude, like I would always love to be a bystander again in the audience. And I remember when Greg and Kyle did like a show back together, and I was like, yes, dude. I was in the front, like we were all in the front, just like reliving a moment. And it was so fucking cool. So these songs, I think I will always cherish, whether I'm playing them or not. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much for talking tonight, and I can't wait to see you again next time.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you.